Thank you for joining in with me here. I wanted just to share with you guys, I recently wrote a book. It's a great book I put together. It's called Pandemic Survival. It's a practical guide basically for solutions to change your life during lockdown, during this whole thing, interesting time that we're in right now. It is a survival guide. It's all about creative and practical ideas that will bring hope, joy, and optimism, inspiration in such dire times that we are currently in right now. The entire book focuses on solutions, not the problem. How to stay calm in the midst of chaos. Now that the entire world is in a lockdown situation mode, many of us are stuck and confined in this space called homes, right? We are seeking for solutions to cope with it because life has to go on. We have to learn to adapt to these new normalities in our lives. And so I'm providing some compelling articles focusing on specific issues which you may be facing and hoping to bring solutions to your current quarantine, shelter in place that we are in right now, the mode that we are in right now. Nobody has expected this, right? So yeah, of course, it's natural reaction that we have anxiety and stress, some kind of level of that. So a pandemic is not something that happens frequently, we know that. But whenever it happens, the ramifications can be really brutal and is real, right? One common effect affecting the majority of people during a global outbreak is really a natural common emotion, anxiety. So questions like, are you experiencing pandemic uneasiness? Do you feel uneasy about the future post of the pandemic? Do you worry if you and the people you care about will survive or not? So if the answer is yes to any of the questions, you might be experiencing anxiety, and that is really normal. That is completely normal, right? We're all human beings with emotions. Worrying is a normal response to a crisis like a worldwide virus outbreak. However, some people worry much more than others, and as such may potentially become a problem that can affect their well-being if not correctly addressed. The good news is that there are many ways of managing and overcoming anxiety in stressful situations. And most importantly, you will also stop wasting time crazily searching online for quick fix solutions, because this guide is the only solutions probably you need. Continue to live life you deserve to live. Alright, so here's a portion that I want to share with you. This is a portion, how to overcome anxiety during a pandemic or quarantine, shelter in place that we are in right now, the mode that we are in right now. Nobody has expected this, right? So yeah, of course, it's natural reaction that we have anxiety and stress, some kind of level of that. So a pandemic is not something that happens frequently, we know that. But whenever it happens, the ramifications can be really brutal and is real, right? One common effect affecting the majority of people during a global outbreak is really a natural common emotion, anxiety. So questions like, are you experiencing pandemic uneasiness? Do you feel uneasy about the future post of the pandemic? Do you worry if you and the people you care about will survive or not? So if the answer is yes to any of the questions, you might be experiencing anxiety, and that is really normal. That is completely normal, right? We're all human beings with emotions. Worrying is a normal response to a crisis like a worldwide virus outbreak. However, some people worry much more than others, and as such may potentially become a problem that can affect their well-being if not correctly addressed. Goal is to maintain your mental health even in the most trying circumstances, so you can come out on the other side. ready to pick up your life again and continue being great and help you, here are some steps to take to overcome anxiety. To help you, here are some steps to take to overcome anxiety during a pandemic or lockdown mode like we are in right now. First off, accepting that there are certain things you can change, that you are able to change. Accepting that there are certain things that you are able to change or you can change, and others that you cannot. In every situation, there are things that you can change and things you cannot change. Acceptance is therefore the first step when dealing with anxiety. Accept that there are things that are beyond your control and influence. Accept that there are things that you can influence. Leave the things that you cannot control, those who can, and focus on the things that are within your control. So by being realistic and focusing on the things you can control, you will be able to focus all of your energy into something that will give you results, instead of items that will waste your efforts and cause you more worry and more stress. And those feelings are just so waste of time. Letting go is the most crucial step in dealing with anxiety. However, it is probably the most difficult to take. I know so. You have to keep trying until you get it right. It takes some practice. Believe me, I've been there. The second thing is stay in touch with people. The second thing is stay in touch with people close to you and the rest of the world. During a pandemic lockdown, the authorities require that people remain indoors and refrain from the normal activities or usual activities that include social events and gatherings, right? Now humans are designed in such a way that they need social contacts to live a healthy life. But when you are in this confined space on a lockdown and facing recurrent episodes of anxiety, right, you have to boost your connection with other people. Stay connected, talk more, especially with the people with a positive attitude. Surround yourself with them with a positive attitude. I'm talking about support system. I'm talking about staying and surround yourself with this sort of people with positive mindset. The third one is try to get out of your head. Try to get out of your head by helping others. Sometimes you can't get rid of feelings of doom and worry by helping others. Believe me, I've gone there too. I would help others to make me feel better. In times of a crisis, there are always many people in need of these things, of assistance. This could be the elderly, daycare, schools for personal, actively involved in an emergency. Volunteering in crisis management centers also is good. Homeless people. I want to pause for a minute here. Homeless people. My son just texted me the other night and said, "Mom, bless his heart. He loves doing this, by the way, randomly." And he said, "Mom, I just bought some food for 3 people, homeless people that I saw." And when I heard that, and I go, he is doing the right thing, in time of crisis. These are the things that is a win-win, basically. It makes him feel good about himself. It makes the other person, the other people that receive this, giving, the act of just empathy, the act of just togetherness, there's no level of, you can do this. There's no level. In time of crisis, everybody's on the same level. You gotta have to practice that empathy, kindness, and be more giving to other people. So when I heard that, of course, I said, "Oh, you're doing a great job, Pumpkin." And I still call him Pumpkin. You're doing a great job, and then keep working on you, and keep working also giving to other people while you can, right? You always will. And helping people in need can give you a great sense of satisfaction and usefulness, a sense of purpose in your life, and then you will find more and more, by the way, when you continue doing these things. Believe me, I know this. It can occupy your time. It can occupy your time that you would have otherwise used for, just negative things in your mind, dark thoughts of doom. It is a perfect way, by the way, to use your time and forget about your worries. Utilize it to more a positive act of, giving, things like that. Next one that I want to mention is plan your days. For the most part, people who worry and suffer from anxiety during pandemic are the people who sit around and doing nothing, who sit around idle, right? When you have nothing to do, you get bored. And what do you do when you get bored? You dwell on your thoughts, which full more anxiety. So you don't need to do that. You don't need to be that way. The best way to enjoy your days during a lockdown is to plan. Write down your goals of that day, what you want to do, know what you're going to do when. Include a mixture of exciting activities and more sober activities. Planning gives your day structure, gives your day something to look forward to, and it is a structure that will help you overcome anxiety, right? Next thing is always keep things in perspective. Keeping things in view is another recommended way of getting through a crisis like a pandemic, like we're in right now. If you get the feeling that things will not get better, try to look at other side of things that which says, hey, you know what? Things will get better. If your mind tells you you're not going to make it, listen to the other part of your mind. Your brain says, hey, of course you will make it. It's always that, left and right, right? The good and bad. And you gotta have to equate that. You gotta have to balance that. And whatever it is, block that mindset, the negative mindset, and then more listen to the positive mindset. Next, be careful on the internet. Oh my goodness, be careful on the internet. The internet is a gasoline of negative vibrations and feelings of this doom, negative things. You may go online to get news updates, that's great. But you can quickly find yourself down a rabbit hole of pessimistic posts and comments. So try to get in, to get your updates, get out. These types of posts and comments can lead you down a very dark path, and where you may even find it difficult to recover. So it is essential to stay informed. I get it, but it is more important to watch your steps on the internet. I am an advocate for that, by the way. Time limit yourself when you're going to be on social media, when you're going to be checking on your news. That is how you overcome anxiety linked to the worldwide disasters like a virus pandemic. Finally, the last one that I want to share with you is know when to seek help. Anxiety is a well-known mental condition. In some people, it can quickly become a disorder that can cause more damage than you might think. There are signs that you should keep an eye out for and seek help when you notice them. If you are becoming very irritable and overloaded, inundated with negative thoughts, unable to focus on anything and feeling completely hopeless, I think it is time to seek help. You can talk to someone that you can trust, to get some help if you live alone or not have anyone you can trust that way. You should call a healthcare practitioner, right, without delay, at the earliest possible. So hopefully all of these small tips that I share with you can be very, very helpful for you during this pandemic time. After all, we're all in this together, guys. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to this. And like I said, I wrote a book about this, providing some more helpful tips and resources in that book. And it's a guide, Survival Life-Saving Guide. And pick it up. It's available already on Amazon. And in the meantime, thank you so much. All right, until then, this is Nicky there.